Good morning, everyone. It is sunrise here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in Atlanta for the Uncanny Unconference, which is great. I'm meeting some fabulous people, and I'm standing here in front of Truist Park, home of the Atlanta Braves, to talk about some spring training issues. So, as you know, it's March, and during March is spring training. So, the guys in the major leagues practice before they get into the batter's box, right? They don't just show up on opening day, and they don't just try to swing the bat. Well, as auto dealers, we need to heed the same kind of message. And I'm going to give you two examples over the last 2 weeks. So I had a dealership call me from Texas, and they had been scammed out of $150,000 worth of cars. Without going into all the particulars, they sent 3 cars, and the customers weren't real, and they didn't bring the cars in, and it was that kind of thing. So I asked them to send me their insurance policy, and I went and looked in the policy, and they didn't have what's called trick and device coverage. And trick and device coverage is that part of an insurance policy that would pay when the dealership is tricked out of money, or in this case, tricked out of 3 cars. I was super surprised to see that. I've read a lot of different insurance policies, and this is the only one I've ever seen that didn't have trick and device coverage. Now, you can imagine the reason that the dealership bought that particular policy was because it was the least expensive. And one of the things I wanted to make sure that I talk about this morning is that you get what you pay for. And especially in insurance policies, you need to know what's in the policies. It's important to practice, to read those policies, or to have somebody explain them to you so that you know which parts you're covered for and which parts you aren't. My second example is a dealership here in the South received 2 lawsuits in 1 week. And we had that very same conversation, which is, let's take a look at your insurance policies and see whether you have coverage. If you do have coverage, you can then choose to pay them, and there are a lot of reasons to do that, to pay the claims out without going to your insurance policy. And that's not the subject of today's video, but at least you know. And so I think it's worth considering that you break out your insurance policy, take a look at it, know what you have, and know what you don't. It's one of the reasons that our motto at Better Vantage Point is we get you out of trouble and keep you out of trouble, because we want to make sure that you know where your soft underbelly is. And I think that's important in running a dealership and assessing what risks you have, and when you get problems that arise like those 2 instances, that you know whether you're going to be covered or whether it's really going to be a problem. Being prepared, I think, is worth it. And that's why I'm standing here in front of Truist Park, home of the Atlanta Braves. So it's a beautiful sunrise this morning, and I'm glad you joined me here, and I appreciate your taking a few minutes. And I just want to say thanks for seeing things from Better Vantage Point. I'm Kline. Have a great day.